tour guide this morning, mate?
Yeah, I was just saying to Benny, he's probably sick of me trying to point out some sights of Melbourne. But look, it's a great view out there. It's showing me what I'm going to miss over the next few years. But look, it's a great city. You get a pretty fair view over it, especially that sporting precinct down there with the G and Amy Park and the tennis centre. It's great.
Are you feeling the pressure?
Oh, look, I think we are under pressure. I don't think it's pressure that we can't handle. We've got a lot of players in the team with a point to prove because it was obviously quite a disappointing performance, and it's a situation the Australian team hasn't been in too much, losing that first game and having to win the next two to make it through to the final. But we're backing our team, we're backing our ability, and I think coming off a loss like that, there's going to be plenty of guys with the pride's a bit hurt, and we want to get in there and change it.
Has Tim Sheen taken you aside and given you a serve?
Look, I don't think he needs to give us a serve, to be quite honest. We know. I mean, we're an Australian team. We've got quite a few experienced players. We know that our performance was substandard and wasn't reflective of the Australian jumper. So this weekend's all about rectifying that. And with the leaders we have in the team too, like we didn't need Tim to come in and tear the paint off the walls. We know ourselves.
How excited are you for Sione?
Oh, look, it's great for a kid. I got the first chance to have a close look at him when I went over the PM's13, and he really impressed me. He really impressed me. For a young kid going on to a fairly hostile environment in PNG, I don't think I've seen a back run harder, to be quite honest, and he's given himself this opportunity. He's a confident young kid without being cocky, and I think he's going to handle it very well, and it's up to the rest of the team to give him a good platform to go on, because that's something we didn't do for the rookies in the first game.
Cam said on Monday if he was England, he'd be looking at this Australian team and thinking they might be a bit vulnerable, given the performance on the weekend and some of the players you're missing. Do you see it that way?
Oh, look, I suppose it's probably fair from an outsider looking in that we would be a bit vulnerable because of what's happened. But within the team, we're hurting, and there's a lot of pride at stake. And I know England's exactly the same. They could come out with a hard-fought win, and they've got a lot of pride in their team too. So it's shaping up for a great match due to the fact that both teams have a point to prove.
Is the size of their pack the biggest concern when you come up against England?
I don't think it's a concern. We know we can handle it. That's obviously a very big strength of theirs, and that's probably was our weakness on the weekend. As a pack, we didn't stand up the way we should, and look, we've got a sink or swim mentality. This week we've got to do the job against the England forward and get our pack to get over the top of them. But look, if you start focusing too much on the pack, you sort of forget about the likes of Widdop and Charnley and Tompkins and all those sort of guys out the back.
What do you make of James Graham, mate?
James Graham, he's really, I suppose, took it upon himself this season to be a leader in a Bulldogs pack, and I view that that's what he's taking into for the England team as well. He's got some young, hungry forwards in his team, and he needs to show them the way to go.
Do you worry about him when he's coming at you on the field?
No, I don't think anyone. I don't worry about anyone on the field. He's running, doing his job. My job's to hit him. If you start worrying about blokes on the field, then it might be time to give the game away.
But when you see him play, he looks almost crazy out there, doesn't he?
Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, I've played with crazier, trust me. So, but he's, tell you what, for a look in the eye, he couldn't go past Dallas Johnson. He looked like a serial killer out there sometimes. But no, it's he's been an outstanding form this year. He's led a team that in the Dogs that many didn't think would do as well as what they did, and he's looking to do the exact same thing with the England team.
You mentioned before, you're going to miss Melbourne. Does this, any Test for Australia is special, particularly with so much on the line, but for you, is it a bit more special, this one being in Melbourne, given you're leaving? Yeah,
look, I've never played a representative game in Melbourne. It'd be something very special. Whenever we play sort of Sydney or Queensland, I've got my family that lives up there, but it's my wife's family that lives down here, and it's special to play a rep game in front of them. So, look, I've said my goodbyes for Melbourne and all that, and ready to move on to the next challenge to the Warriors. But to get an opportunity to run out on Amy Park as a home player again is pretty special.